I want to welcome you to Dream Chasers Radio with me, your host, Yaya Diamond. What's up, peoples? How you doing? It is a great day, and I'm so very excited to be here. Listen, we have a girl on the show. Not just a girl, but a very, very imaginative, cool beings kind of person. And I like her already. I don't know if she knows this, but I really like her. And I like the background that she's got too. And I want to ask her about that in a second because I like that back there because that's kind of cool. I like it. But her name is Juliann Cosgrove, and she's an author, and she's the author of a book, Pandora's Space Tales. So let's go ahead and welcome her to the show today. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me. I really enjoyed, I'm glad to be here.
Awesome. Thank you. So, okay. First of all, the background. I love it. Is that like a background, or is that your house?
Nope, that's a wall hanging.
Oh, so cool.
That is actual wall hanging. I love libraries. I get lost in them all the time.
It's just so pretty and so authentic. I love that. I love that. Does that inspire you to write? I mean, is that why you put it up there?
Yes, it gives. I think about all the adventures and all the different books, and so when I can't go to the library, I've got my wall hanging that reminds me of the libraries.
I love it. I love it. I mean, I just thought it was like, oh my gosh, it's so vintage. It's just so wonderful and peaceful. It feels like as if you could just sit there and just be there. You know what I mean? It's so nice. It's so nice. So tell me, when did you start writing? And did you have something like that piece behind you to inspire you, to make you feel like, wait a minute, I like this?
Actually, I started writing right after I started reading, because I started reading back when I was in junior high. And I couldn't get enough. I was reading a book a week. And then my teacher goes, well, you've read enough. Let's give me a chapter. Write me something. And I started writing stories, and I would create stories. And she would have me do a story for each genre, from fantasy to science fiction to mystery to drama. I couldn't handle horror. I couldn't do horror, so I had to stay away from that. But she got my creativity going, and I couldn't get enough. I would go to the library and I would just inhale any book I could get my hands on reading. So
wow.
It just I would say clear when I was 9 years old, couldn't get enough.
That is amazing. That is amazing. You know, most people don't know what they want to do. You know what I mean? They don't know, but you knew at 9 years old that you loved it, and that you could do it. How'd that make you feel? I mean, that you knew you could and yet you loved it.
I found it invigorating because it would make me sit back and watch things around me. And I would start learning from just sitting back and watching. I started writing stories about things I saw, change the names, change the atmosphere, but I would watch things in school and change it from school to science fiction and outer space. Just taking everything that was happening and changing it. It was exciting because it was a challenge.
Wow, that is so cool. I love it. You know, time goes on. You know, life happens. Things happen to you. How did you take that? Was that an adventure as well? Did you write during that time? Did you do journaling?
No, I actually didn't do journaling. I would create stories, and I had a friend who would take them down because I was describe a story and she'd start writing everything down. So she gave me a binder when we graduated high school that had all my stories in it. And I just took those and started doing outlines for more stories. I have 10, 15 stories that I still need to write. So it's, way back, just update them to the modern day.
Right. That is so cool, though. And to have someone who understands you, what was that like?
It was my anchor. Because whenever you're sitting back and watching, you're not engaging with anybody. And when you don't engage, you're kind of the wallflower. You're wallflower. But I stood back and watched. And like I said, we would discuss it and she would write down my stories from what I saw.
That is just great. It's hard to find someone who understands and comprehends where you're coming from and not call you weird or, you know what I mean? Or just like out there, that they understood and they helped. That is a miracle within itself.
It precious to me. She was really precious. We were close all the,
Mm,
all the way through. It was phenomenal.
wow. Wow. And so my question to you is, what about the book that you have today, Pandora Space Tales? Tell me about that book.
That one is everybody, a lot of people have cats. I won't say everybody, but a lot of people have cats. And just the thought of a lot of the stories I've always read have been narrative.
Hmm.
So we decided to put the story through the eyes of a cat. I mean, just to take it from her perspective. I mean, you see, and cats are their enigma in themselves.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, they have their own attitudes. And if you ever doubt that, get a cat.
Oh, yeah.
You will learn what a cat is. And to put it, like I said, the thing is to put it through the cat's eyes.
Hmm.
That's what the cat feels. Because the cat can hear things we can't. The cats can see things we can't. The cats can smell things we can't.
Hmm.
It gives you that additional information that you would not get if you were getting through a narrative. Do you see what I'm saying? You're more connected to the character.
Yeah. Yeah. I got you. Wow. Wow. And so you thought about a cat as you wrote this book,
Yes.
and through the eyes of the cat, Pandora.
Pandora.
Ah,
The-
okay.
uh,
That you wrote this book. How did you approach Pandora's character, though? I mean, because like you said, every cat has a different character. Everybody has a different character. Good cats have characters too. So how did you approach the character?
I just basically watched my neighbor's cats, my cats, and just combined them all into one attitude.
Oh goodness, you did that? Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a job.
Oh,
That's
yes.
a job. And so, who is Pandora?
Pandora is basically a me wanting to travel out and do it through the eyes of a cat, wanting to go out on an adventure. You know what I'm saying? And this is why her story, she is not just a morale officer or a mascot for the ship. She becomes a morale officer. She's
Mhm.
part of the crew. And everybody wants to be part of something, but she's that different. See what I'm saying? And I always wanted to travel, to go to space, to travel and see the world, do things. What better way to think about it through the eyes of a cat?
Mhm. Wow. Wow. So Pandora is adventurous. Is
Yes,
this is this the is this the way that you have found yourself to become adventurous through your books, through your writings, through
yes,
Pandora?
yes.
Mm,
As I do travel, I often travel, and it's just basically what would the cat do when she was here? What would the cat do if she had to come up against this? How would a cat, how would Pandora resolve this issue? And I just put it through that way and then just started taking notes.
gotcha. Is this a children's book or is this a book for everyone?
This is a book for everyone. This is a book for everyone because it attacks a lot of life's situations
Right.
and basically and life and death areas and different things. It basically comes being part of a group and helping save the ship a couple times.
Wow. So is this okay? So what about self-discovery in this book? Does Pandora discover who Pandora is?
Um, Sort of. She has an idea, but she's not dumb, which everybody. This is the whole point. She's not dumb.
Hmm.
Kind of gets a better idea towards the last chapter.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool. How big is the book? I mean, is it like a few days reading or a day reading? I mean, what was it like for you to write this book, and how did you decide that this was going to be that size?
It would do. I did it basically. It took me a year and a half to write it because I had to travel and do different things.
Okay.
It was basically the book spans a couple of years, so it's
Hmm.
not a week or so in the life of the cat. These are months, and she's going from planet to planet, and it's meeting because this is like I said, I travel and I meet different cultures. I meet different people. And that's where I watch them. How does this culture react? How does that culture react?
Mm, mm. I like
Basically,
that.
everything is not what it seems.
Mm.
You look at something, it may not be what you think it is. And that comes into effect in one chapter when she realizes the trees are not what they seem to be.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So this is kind of like a sci-fi.
Yes.
I
This,
like sci-fis.
she is on a spaceship and she learns a lot.
Oh,
And
wow. So okay, wait. Okay, I gotta ask you, does she meet other cats?
yes, she does.
Oh, that is so cool. What is it? Because you said you travel, and I'm kind of finding a parallel between you traveling and of course Pandora and meeting other people. What was it like for Pandora, for Pandora, to meet other people, and how did you digest that for Pandora?
I enjoyed it because from 9 years old, I learned to associate. I learned to find a common ground between me and the other cultures. Because I always was told never stop learning. So I was always going whenever I traveled with my parents, my father. I always would go to the natural, to the different areas, the libraries, the culture museums. I loved history. I loved future ideas. He couldn't keep me out of the sci-fi area, with the new space shuttles and the new planes, and it was like, we're leaving now. No.
Wow. And so how did you imagine? Because I know that reality is you're traveling, you're in, you're on planet Earth, but she's not, or he's not. Pandora, female or male?
She's female.
She's female. So she's not necessarily on Earth. She's traveling throughout space. There's extraterrestrials out there. How did she handle meeting different kinds of entities?
She takes it actually one step at a time. She gets to realize, because they go to a spaceport and you have all these different creatures walking around, and she's going, okay, we'll deal with this.
That is cool. Well, how did you put in the lesson of dealing with stressful situations like that? Because to me, that seems stressful. I mean, you're traveling at thousands of miles an hour, light years away, maybe not even knowing where you kind of started from. Maybe I'm not sure.
She makes
To get lost.
Well, she's friends with all of the different crew members.
Mm-hmm.
Listens to the crew members as they talk about the different planets and the different history of the different cultures, because actually studying cultures or history. And so she just listens to him. So whenever she goes there, she's prepared to accept it. So she, like I said, she listens. And that's the one trick. She listens to what's going on. So when she gets to the planet, she's prepared. She knows. And yeah. And
Wow.
there's a lot of things.
Right. What is the lesson behind this book? What is the lesson behind Pandora?
Trust yourself. Trust yourself and never, and keep believing. Always go for the next step. Never hold yourself back. Trust yourself to take that next step. That's the whole trick about this. Trust yourself and your intuitions, and know that what you do is going to help somebody else.
Wow. When did you learn that? When did you learn to trust yourself?
I'm still working on it.
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you. It's good to write it down, though. And it's good to know it, but living it is different.
It is way different. Yes.
I kind of like that. Does this book inspire you, even though you're the author?
Yes, it does.
How?
Because I learned a lot by working with, as Pandora grew, so did I. And I'm actually starting to work on Pandora 2 about her kitten, one of her little girls, who it goes on to the next ship. And I even incorporated, one of the books is called chapters is called I Am, where she meets a small android that follows her back to Earth. And that's the small kitten, her daughter, and the android takes off on the next adventure. So the venture never ends.
That is cool though. I like it. So, what age group can you read this to your child? Is this something that's friendly?
Yes, it's friendly. There's no bang bang shoot 'em ups. There's no grisly murders, nothing like that. It's it's friendly. I would say anywhere between 9, 8, 9 on up.
Hmm.
I mean, my mother enjoyed it, and she's 92.
Wow. Wow, that is so cool. That is so cool. That's such a blessing. It's such a blessing. Wow. So, okay, so you have Pandora's, and I want to make sure that people know where this is. It's going to be Pandora Space Tales. I'm going to put the link in the description box below. Is there anything that we've missed that you want to say to the listeners and viewers today?
Well, just like I said, please understand that this is a really good, story that you can share.
Hmm.
It's something is, and it's using all the different histories from different cultures. You have to look for it, but you'll see the different cultures around the world embedded into the story.
And that's really good because then you get to actually experience the different cultures from the eyes of an animal. And that's really cool.
I
That is
mean,
really cool.
there's one there where they're going through, um, eh, basically through the caves, and they see all the ancient dwellings and realize that this was the previous culture that was on the planet. And
Oh, okay.
it's kind of like the cliff dwellings in Arizona of the Navajo down in
No.
Arizona.
Yeah, no, no, yeah, definitely. I do want to go back a little bit and I want to say that I admonish you and admire you because this next piece that you're about to say is something that most people don't realize that a lot of authors have the opportunity to do. And some don't, and some do. But tell me, some of the proceeds go to where?
Okay, what it is a lot of some of the proceeds actually go to the memory facilities for veterans who are suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia, and to help take care of the veterans in these homes that need things that they generally don't get. It's
Mhm.
cover things they need like clothes, things they need to, personal items. It's there for them. And that's what some of the proceeds go to these facilities to help take care of these veterans who need that little extra touch and they don't get it. And that's where that's where the proceeds are going to.
Thank you so much for being on the show, Julian. I appreciate it. Okay, so listen, you guys have got to go check out this book. Okay, it is Pandora Space Tales. It is cute. It is cuddly. It is adventurous. It is cultural. It is revolutionary. It is self-aware, and it has some character. And I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to dare to be different. And until next time, guys, bye. Thank you for watching.